What equipment do you really need to get started achieving your health and fitness goals? Through my extensive experience working with clients, I've identified some must-haves, all items that cater to a wide range of fitness levels and goals. These essentials are not only generally inexpensive, but also quite versatile, allowing you to customize your workouts even more. So let's dive into these must-haves for the home gym. Keep in mind, these items I'm about to list are, in general, good for everyone. However, there may be some modifications needed for your fitness level and your goals. The first must-have is an aerobic step or a box step. If you have trouble with body weight lunges, then a regression would be to use an aerobic step to start with, especially if you have never used a box step. If you have challenge ascending and descending stairs, I strongly suggest an aerobic step with optional risers. I will include the links to all of my suggested products in the description below. The aerobic step specifically is quite versatile and ranges from cardiovascular fitness, depending on its use, to strength and mobility exercises, as well as balance, as long as a balance aid is nearby. While it seems like such a simple addition, it's crucial in ensuring that we have adequate leg strength, especially if we're wanting to progress to lunges, or if we have knee issues preventing us from lunging. If, however, you are okay with lunges and you feel great with bodyweight lunges, a box step may be more suitable for you. This is speaking specifically in terms of strength and conditioning, not using it for an aerobic step for aerobic workouts. The box step can be used to further improve your lower body strength, as well as improve even your balance and your hip mobility for specific drills. Last but not least, the aerobic step and the box step can be used for plyometric exercises for individuals that can handle higher impact. If you've never done plyometrics before, and you know that it's okay that you do, I would start with an aerobic step. It's a good idea to not start too high if you've never done plyometrics. Some examples of plyometrics you can do would include something like a box jump or even a depth jump, or simply just stepping down from being on top of the box step or the aerobic step. Descending stairs is always harder. Descending or controlling our fall is a very important movement to condition our knees for and the rest of our lower body. All right, moving on to the next recommendation is actually 3. I recommend an arsenal of 3 different styles of resistance bands. The reason I recommend 3 different styles is because they have 3 different uses. I recommend a long 40-inch loop band. These are fantastic for corrective exercises, upper body exercises, some lower body exercises, and they're great when you need to travel. They're in general also fantastic for the joints. I also recommend a mini band or a loop band that can go around the thighs. There's 2 different styles that I recommend. A fabric-based one that is thicker and doesn't roll, and also one that is a simple elastic loop band. Sometimes this one rolls when it's around the thighs, but it can be used for exercises where they're strapped around the ankles. These mini bands or loop bands can be very helpful for exercises strengthening the hip complex, as well as just in general lower body functional strength. The last style of resistance band that I recommend as part of this arsenal of resistance bands is a simple flat resistance band. If I find a product variety of this version that I appreciate more than the one that I've been using, then I'll definitely change up the links as this video goes on in time, because there's always new products coming out that are better. But for now, I use something as basic as this for footwork. It is annoying because it rolls down on my feet. But it's very helpful for footwork for clients that need to build up the strength of their intrinsic foot muscles and their ankle complex. Very helpful to have those. And that's honestly kind of all that I really like to use them for. I don't like to use them for upper body work because they are kind of flimsy, but they're fantastic for footwork, specifically in the ankle complex. Bridging off of the concept of always finding new products that I find better than previous recommendations, this one is completely made of silicone, so it's entirely latex-free, and this is an example of the 40-inch loop band. This is specifically by Vector Athletics. I have not found any other band that is like this one, that is all silicone and entirely latex-free. So it is very, very resistant to breaking, and that's one of the concepts that I appreciate and a really good resistance band. So this is one that I will actually include the link in the description. I'm extremely impressed with the individual who made these. They have rounded edges. I'll have a complete review video on why I like that better, among other things, but really, really like them. So I've included a link for those too. That's an example of the 40-inch band. Next up, a set of weights. This one is optional because you're not going to really be starting off often with anything other than body weight, especially if you're just starting into a fitness routine. It's always best to master your movements body weight only and then start changing up the intensity by adding weights. Nevertheless, I still end up recommending at some point weights for clients. A good starting point for weights is a set of 3 pairs of dumbbells, ranging in weight from 3 pounds to 8 pounds, or if you feel much stronger, from 5 pounds to even 15 pounds. Eventually, yes, you will graduate to needing an entire set that maybe even goes up to 55 pounds. But this video is about what do you need if you want to just start out. And honestly, I have some clients use milk jugs, water jugs, cans of soup that is consistent in weight. You can always have workarounds if you don't want to have to buy dumbbells, but sometimes it's just more convenient to buy the dumbbells. I'll attach a link in the description below to sets of dumbbells that I recommend, from 3 pairs all the way up to the full set that I have and I use in my videos. The weights that you see in this video, I actually do use them in my workouts. They're not just staging, but they go up to 25 pounds. So I'll include a link to that one and then a set that goes up to 55 pounds. One quick comment about adjustable dumbbells. I don't recommend them for everyone, especially if you're going to be inconvenienced by having to change them out every time you need to change a weight for a specific exercise. So they're great, space saving, but sometimes they can be an inconvenience. I'll attach a link in the description to some that my clients do like and use, if they're okay with the convenience factor. This next one is also optional. I've got some videos as to why I'm saying this is optional, but this is an accurate wearable. The reason I emphasize accurate is because not all wearables are accurate, such as the Fitbit and the Apple Watch. I have an entire review video here on my recommendations for specific wearables. I invite you to watch that. However, I'm actually in the development process of creating my own wearable because I really find that there's nothing quite as accurate as, yes, the chest strap bands, but they're also not too comfortable for everyone. And I'm working on developing an app that can help with the intensity reading because it's not always very clear either. Nevertheless, it still is helpful to be able to track your heart rate alongside your rate of perceived exertion and talk test. So this is why I say this is an optional one. Some people really like the metrics, but it is important that the metrics are actually accurate that you're tracking. Most importantly is rating your perceived exertion and your talk test, because RPE is subjective, talk test is pretty objective, and it's really important, especially if you're on certain medications, to pay attention to your ability to talk during workouts. I have an entire video on layering exertion right here. Last up, must-haves for the home gym setup is actually a calendar. And I have an entire video as to why I recommend having a calendar if you are following a pre-made program or you're making your own routine. If you've got a one-on-one coach, such as myself, then you won't have to worry about that because your coach is creating your schedule for you. So if you end up making your way to the video about why you need a calendar to map out your routine, I do end up giving you some free downloadable resources that help you map out your own calendar. Remember, the key to a successful home gym is to ensure that it aligns well with your fitness level and your goals. All of these must-haves that I have listed will help you with either conditioning, strength improvements, functional fitness improvements, balance, lower body strength, coordination, as well as, of course, weight loss and weight management. Now, before I leave you, some of you might be asking, why didn't she include something that could be specific to cardio, like a treadmill or a bike? Don't I need those? It's a common misconception that you cannot get cardiovascular training with something that can also help you out with your strength, such as using an aerobic step or using weights. It depends on how you implement your workout. You still are helping your heart by doing any type of exercise, especially if you've done nothing. The other reason I don't include something like a bike or a treadmill or an elliptical is because different people like different modes of cardio. If you like running and can tolerate running, your body responds well to it, then run. but you might not want a treadmill because you like running outside and you feel good doing that. Some people love swimming. Some people hate it and they can't do it. Whatever mode of cardio you choose, that's entirely up to you. If you're interested, I have cardiovascular programs that tailor to just that, exactly what your cardiovascular fitness objectives are and what your preferred mode of cardio is. I build your progress starting from beginner, and I have an intermediate program too. Check in the link to the description below to see which program you would end up placing in. So now, you know all the tools that you need to really get started, making sure that you have a well-rounded training approach that can incorporate strength and cardiovascular wellness. I do offer 8-week functional fitness programs, and I also have one specifically for individuals experiencing lower back pain and discomfort, and they do require the equipment that I've listed in this video. So if you ended up getting all these items, you'd be ready to jump right into a functional fitness program. If you purchase these programs, you own them for life. A lot of people ask me, do I only own them for the 8 weeks and then they go away? No, you own them for life if you purchase them. You can stretch out your schedule as you need, especially considering you need to pay attention to your body's response to the exercises. So I hope this video has been helpful and informative and kind of gives you a glimpse in the fact that you don't need a full gym setup to get started. And you can get started with relatively inexpensive and minimal equipment. So remember, I've included links to all of these suggested products, and I do update these if I find better products. You can click those links in the description below, and I have included a special coupon because you took the time to watch this video in the link to the description below as well. And those will be specific to either the cardiovascular programs or any of my programs in general, especially the functional fitness and the lower back program. So check those out, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button, remember to subscribe, and comment if you have any topic suggestions or questions. That's all for this one. Always remember, your health is an investment, not an expense. I'll see you in the next one.